football.
Attacking football.
Attacking football.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Attacking Football podcast. You will notice there's two of us this week. It's holiday season. The Attacking Football boys are all sunning themselves on a beach, and they've left the two pastiest, whitest boys in the UK and Ireland to carry on with the podcast. It's not gone well for us, but Scott, welcome, mate. How you doing?
Doing good, yeah. Champions League draw today. How did Man United get on that one?
That's all we've got time for this week. Yeah, our draw is tomorrow. The important draw is tomorrow. I have to be honest. I haven't seen the draw yet. I've deliberately let the draw pass me by because we want to do kind of like a live reaction to the draw. We weren't able to do it at the time. Scott has seen the draw and watched the draw as it happened. So we're going to talk about who got who, what the potential spicy fixtures are. And Scott's going to read me the draw kind of on a Liverpool still in the Champions League. But yeah, let's see how this goes. It's going to be a different kind of podcast. Me and Scott are just going to have a chat.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Scott, let's go. Who's got who? There's 4 pots. Should we start in pot 1?
Well, do you know how the draw worked? Do you want me to go through that first?
That's a really good question, actually. I have no fucking idea how the Champions League works this year because we're not in it. So if you, like me, are not in the draw or have no frigging idea how the Champions League is working this season, Scott, going to give us a brief explanation?
Right, so basically there's 4 pots of teams all seeded, and then each team in the Champions League will play 2 teams from each of them pots. And so you can't play any teams from your own nation, and you can only play 2 teams from a single nation. So you can't get Barca, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid. You can only get 2 of them.
Right.
And if you this is the weird part for me, which I'm not sure I quite like, but it's kind of worked out in Liverpool's favour this time. If you play a game away from home, you won't play that same team at home. So say, for example, I'm just going to throw out 2 teams that aren't even Champions League. Say if Luton get Napoli in the Champions League away, they won't play Napoli at home. They'll play a different team at home. But you'll still play 4 games at home and 4 games away.
Okay. That's going to be really heavily skewed in favour of some teams and not others. So imagine you're, let's say, let's choose Feyenoord or let's choose Bratislava, right? Yeah. So imagine you're Bratislava and you draw Real Madrid. Your only chance of getting something out of that game is to play them at home in your own stadium. So, but if you draw them and it's away, that's it. That's mental.
But in that same case, you'll get if you got Real Madrid away and they're a seed 1 team, you'll play a seed 1 team away or at home. So you'll get another seed 1 team at home.
Right. Okay. So you get 2 seed 1s, 2 seed 2s, 2 seed 3s, 2 seed 4s.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so all these teams go into a league. So instead of just every team has their own group, every team is in the same league. So even though Man City might not play Dortmund, they're still competing in the same league.
Seems fair. Yeah.
And so then after the 8 games, the top 8 teams, so it's normal, like win is 3 points, draw is 1 point. And so the top 8 teams go automatically into the round of 16. But then teams from 9th to 24th will go into like a playoff round. So a 2-legged playoff round, and then that will make up the extra 8 teams for the round of 16.
I'm honestly, my head hurts just listening to that. I tell you what that does do. It really does shorten the fixture list for the big clubs. You know, it definitely definitely is going to help with the injury list of all these players playing 60 games a season.
No, well, it makes it worse because even though you're still playing 2 extra games, because the old Champions League format was 6 games. Now you're automatically playing 8, and then if you don't become top 8, then that's another 2. So that's an extra 4. So yeah, I see what you mean actually now. But yeah, so that's the new format.
Potentially 10 games before you even make it to the next round of the Jesus Christ. Yeah. Do you know what? Somehow, I'm quite glad that we're not in the Champions League this season because with the amount of injuries my club gets, I don't think we'd have any players to play the 8th game.
Oh, but this might not be good news for you then. The Europa League and the Conference League, they follow the same format now as well.
Oh, for God's sake. Is
So
it
it's
8 games as well?
Yeah, it's the same format, but just lesser teams. Like,
we're going to be playing the kit man, the stadium announcer, the tour guides in game 8. Whoever we're playing against, it's just, oh, for God's sake, this is insane.
yeah.
What's the so you've been all over social media today, right? What's the overwhelming reaction been to this new format? I know it was announced a long time ago, but actually seeing it in practice now, what's the general consensus on social media?
The consensus was kind of like the draw phase. It was kind of like usually when there's a draw, you're like, oh, you get hyped because your team gets this team. But now it's kind of like there's not really any hype. I suppose the fixtures do look very good, and they'll probably make for better games. But in general, the draw was like very boring compared to usual years.
Yeah,
because like say if you get a good team in pot 1, and you get them at home, you're like, oh, I got a good draw there, and then you get another team from pot 1 and it's away, and it's probably the worst team. You're like, oh, what's going on here?
Okay, well, we'll get into who got the good teams and who got the bad teams in a second. I think what we should probably do, Scott, is we should talk about the English clubs and who they're going to be playing. So there are 4 English teams in the Champions League this year.
Yeah.
Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Aston Villa. Aston Villa's first foray into the Champions League in a number of years, many decades, in fact, and they've come into this shit show. So, should we start with Aston Villa? Who are Aston Villa going to be playing?
Right, so I'll start with pot 1. So in pot 1, Villa, they play Bayern Munich at Villa Park. So that's quite a big draw for Villa.
Yeah. Okay, that's mad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as their second pot 1 team, they've got another German team. They play Leipzig away.
That's not an easy draw.
Yeah.
Wow, that's 0 points out of those 2 games. Okay.
And then in pot 2, they probably came away with probably the second worst team in that they've got Juventus, and they've got Juve at Villa Park though, so at least they're arguably their 2 toughest fixtures, Bayern and Juve, are both at Villa Park.
Oh God, did Douglas Luiz go to Juventus? He didn't.
Yeah.
So Douglas Luiz is going back to Villa Park in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also got, so their away game for that one is Club Brugge.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not too bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. All right.
And
pot 3?
In pot 3, they have Celtic at Villa Park.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 points. Okay.
Yeah. And then they've got Young Boys away.
Another 3 points. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then in pot 4, they've got Bologna at home.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Bologna in pot 4?
Yeah, because they think this is their first time in the Champions League for like 40 or 60 years or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And to be fair, Bologna, they've lost their manager and they've lost like 3 of their best players, I think, or 2 of their best players.
One of them came home. Yeah. Okay.
And then their final team is Monaco away.
Okay. Now, I've heard rumours that Martial might be going back to Monaco. So that would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Villa, they have the thing with this Champions League format is that you don't know how many points you need to get to the next round.
No.
Because like,
do you know what? I was just going to ask that. What are we thinking the median number of points are going to be to qualify?
I'm not sure. I think because like 9 to 24 or like 1 to 24 is quite a lot to. And I think there's 36 teams in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So 24 go through. And so maybe like 12 points will be enough to get even into the playoffs. But kind of.
Yeah. So I should have asked this at the beginning. So 1 to 8 is automatically through to the next round.
Yeah, so you get through to the round of 16, yeah.
Yeah, so then it's 9 to where?
24, I think. That's
9
16.
to 24.
Yeah.
And then anything below 24 is just out.
Yeah, just out of Champions League. Your Champions League is finished.
And this year you don't then go down to the Europa League, right?
Yeah. So once you're out this time.
Okay. I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, but like looking at Villa's fixtures, like they should probably beat Bruges away. They should beat Celtic at home. They'd probably beat Young Boys away.
Yeah.
Bologna will have to wait and see how good they are. Or maybe a draw at home or a win, maybe. And then Monaco could be
that's 10.
Monaco could be a tough game. So that could either be I say a loss or a draw, maybe. I don't know how.
Yeah, if we give them the benefit of the doubt and say that's a draw, that's 11 points.
So yeah,
I don't see them getting anything out of Bayern at home, Leipzig away, or Juve at home. I think that's 3 losses, right?
Yeah.
And that's assuming that they have all their best players fit and available. So yeah, you think 3 points against Club Brugge, 3 points against Celtic, 3 points against Young Boys, and then you're looking to get at least 3 points from both Bologna and Monaco. So they could get 12 points.
I'd say they'll probably float around the 10 to 12 points mark, maybe. Okay. And I think a big thing this time, actually, I only just realised there, is that even if you get like usually if you get like the big team on it's your because the fixtures haven't been released yet. If you get like the big team as like your last game, there's always a chance you could beat them because maybe they've already qualified. But now since it's a league with everyone, like even if Bayern are sat in third place, because the league is so weird and different, like Bayern could only be like maybe like 2 points from dropping out of the top 8. So even though Bayern are sitting third, they probably still need a win to guarantee top 8.
I hadn't thought about it like that. Yeah, it's. Do you know what? To be fair, it's called the Champions League, and they finally introduced a league format. So, I mean, we can't complain too much. Okay, let's talk about. Hang on, before we move on to Arsenal, nail your colours to the mast. Do Aston Villa get out of the league?
I'm gonna say they do. I'm gonna say maybe. I think they probably maybe finish in the 24th to 22nd mark, and they just about squeeze through.
But through would be into the playoff as well.
Yeah, into the play. Oh no, I don't know about the playoff. That'll depend on the draw, but I think they'll get into the playoff.
Okay. Yeah. I think they will struggle to pick up points in Europe.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do. I think they've got 9 points that are fairly safe, but those 3 teams have all played Champions League football before.
Yeah.
I don't know about Champions. I don't know about European football experience. I mean, Villa were in the Conference League last year, were they not?
Yeah, and they got knocked out to Lille, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say they struggle. I really want Aston Villa to succeed, actually, but I think they'll struggle. Okay, let's go on to Arsenal.
Right, so starting with Arsenal, I think Arsenal started in pot 2, I think so, and I think Villa were in pot 3 or 4. But right, Villa or Arsenal, they have PSG at home. I wouldn't laugh just yet.
Okay.
They've got Inter Milan away.
Okay. Yeah.
Then they've got Shakhtar Donetsk at home.
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
At
home.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got Atalanta away.
Oh, that's a tough away trip.
Yeah. They've got Dynamo Zagreb at home.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sporting away.
That's a tough trip as well. That's a really tough trip.
They've got Monaco at home.
Okay.
And then they've got Girona away.
Girona's a tough one, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Ooh. See,
I think that's a very easy group for Arsenal.
I don't know, you know. Let's approach this the same way that we just approached Villa. Yeah. Right? So PSG at home, I can't see them winning that. They might get a draw out of it.
Maybe, but PSG aren't like the same PSG they were a few years ago. Like there's no Mbappe and Neymar, which may actually help them. To be fair,
I was going to say that might help them because they're not trying to funnel everything through a superstar player. That might actually do them a favor. I'd say a draw there, right?
Yeah.
Inter Milan, I think they lose that away from home.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Shakhtar at home,
that should be a win. Yeah.
Atalanta away, that's tough. I don't think that's nailed on 3 points. You know.
Yeah, I think that is tough. Yeah, I think PSG, Inter, and Atalanta are definitely their hardest fixtures. But I think outside of that, I don't really think they'll have any issues.
Okay, so I'm going to give them a draw away at Atalanta because generous, right? So far they've got 4 points. Who did they have from pot 3?
They've got Zagreb at home. That should be 3 points. Yeah.
That's 7. Yeah. Okay.
And they've got Sporting away. Yeah.
I think they'll lose that. Sporting are a really good side.
Yeah, but it's a game that Arsenal should be expected to win, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Let's give them that. That's 10 points.
Then they've got Monaco at home. I mean, realistically, they should
be winning that.
Yeah.
Okay. 13 points, and then
Girona away.
I see it again. I think they'd probably get a draw there.
See, I don't know about Girona because Girona, like Bologna, have lost like 3 of their key players.
They have, yeah, like that's true.
They've lost Savio, they've lost Dovbyk, and they've lost Alex Garcia.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've really spent much in the market either.
Okay, so PSG, we're giving them nothing. Inter, we're giving them nothing. You've got 3 points from Shakhtar and a point from Atalanta. That's 4. And you've got 3 points from Zagreb. That's 7. A point from Sporting. That's 8. 3 points from Monaco. That's 11. And 3 points from Girona. That's 14.
Yeah, see, you get them 14. I think they'll maybe get 16, 17 mark or so.
You think so?
Yeah, I think PSG, I don't know if they'll win that, but I think they could get a draw. And I think the same with Inter Milan, so I think that's 2 points. And then I think...
Do you think PSG look at that and go, I'm afraid to go to Arsenal?
I think they look at that and they think we've got one of the hardest teams in pot 2.
Yeah.
Especially since it's at the Emirates.
Yeah, okay.
I think they'll beat Shakhtar, and I think they'll get a draw at Atalanta. So how many I've given them? 1, 2. So I've given them 6 points so far. And then their remaining 4 games, I honestly think they win all 4. So I'm on 18 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else have we got? We've got let's do Liverpool last, so we'll go on to Man City because we're both saying that Arsenal probably go through straight in the first 8. Okay.
Well, interestingly enough, Man City have the same opponents as Arsenal from pot 1, except reverse. So they've got Inter Milan at the Etihad, and then they've got PSG away.
Well, that's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the next pot they've got Bruges at home. And Juventus away.
You'd fancy them to win that as well.
Yeah.
Unless Jadon Sancho goes to Juventus, in which case they'll probably win even more comfortably.
Yeah. Pot 3, they've got Feyenoord at home and then Sporting away.
They're all playing the same clubs. Okay.
Yeah. And then pot 4, they've got Sparta Prague at home and then Bratislava away.
No, Man City might top the league, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't be surprised if Man City got maximum points in those fixtures.
Even
though there's a few tough games in there, you wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
So the tough games they've got there are Inter, PSG, Juventus, and Sporting, right?
Yeah.
Sporting because it's away, PSG because it's away,
yeah.
Juventus because it's away, and Inter Milan because they're Inter Milan. I would say at least 1 or 2 of those would be draws.
Yeah.
But the rest are probably all wins. Yeah.
I think they get a few draws. I don't know if they lose any of the games though.
Yeah, I mean, but look, we've seen Real Madrid lose to Liechtensteinian clubs, so let's not rule anything out. But I think we can say quite comfortably that Man City qualify.
Yeah, they definitely come top 8. They definitely go into the round of 16 automatically.
Yeah. Okay. And then on to Liverpool.
All right. So we've Real Madrid at home. They're just always here to.
Is it written into your contract with UEFA that you have to play Real Madrid every season?
I think so at this stage, to be honest.
Okay. You're not sick to death of them?
Oh, very, very.
It's a grudge match for Mo Salah at least. Okay.
Very much looking forward to the Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe double up on Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back.
Oh, that's not going to be a fun day for you. Is it? Have you got them at home?
Yeah, we have them at Anfield at least.
It is at Anfield.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So,
That gives you a fighting chance.
That's what I mean with the draw earlier when I was like, oh, you got a tough team, and then you're like, at least they're at home. So you kind of have a mix. You have a mix of both. You know, you're getting a tough team, and then you're like, oh, at least the tough team is at home.
Yeah. Okay. Who else have you got?
We got Leipzig away as our second pot one.
That's not an easy game either, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pot 2 we got shafted. We got Leverkusen.
You got Xabi Alonso.
Yeah. That's also at Anfield though. So arguably our two hardest games are at least are at Anfield.
You've got the two biggest aura teams in world football.
Yeah, we've got the two champions at the moment in our.
So you're conceding a 97th minute winner in both of those games. Okay. Yeah. Who else have you got in pot 2?
We have AC Milan away.
Okay.
Then we've got Lille at home.
Okay. Yeah.
PSV away.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
Bologna at home.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
And then Girona away.
Okay. Yeah, I think you qualify from that. Let's tot up the points.
We definitely qualify, but we definitely got the hardest run of any of the English teams, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, of the 4 English sides, I think you've got the most difficult one. But you've also got the quality to cope with it. Not necessarily a squad depth. I do worry about your squad depth. But I think 11 versus 11, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
If you get some injuries to midfield, I think you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Let's go through point by point then. So Real Madrid, I don't see you winning that. They're the current European champions. They've only gone and made their team better. I'd say that's a loss. Leipzig, I think you might get a win.
Yeah.
Leverkusen, I think you'll lose that one as well. Milan, I think you get a draw. That'll be 4 points. Lille, you win. PSV, you win. So you got 12 points from your last 4 plus 4. So you've got 16 points there, which I think is probably enough.
Yeah. See, I think we can. I hate saying what I think we'll get a draw. It's Real Madrid at Anfield. I think we could get something out of that game as long as Konate is fit. Because I think Konate covering Trent. I think I've seen something earlier. Konate has won he's never lost a duel against Vinicius Jr. and he's had faced him in 13. So if we have Konate fit, may at least minimise that threat. Never forget that Mbappe and Bellingham and Rodrigo, who are also in that team. So
yeah, I was gonna not Rodri. What do you say Rodri for?
No, Rodrigo.
Oh, Rodrigo. Okay, I thought you said Rodri. I was like, he hasn't signed yet. So yeah, you may very well have Vinicius Jr. wrapped up in a tight little bow with Konate, but then you do have, like you said, Vinicius. You do have Rodrigo, Mbappe, Bellingham, Modric, Camavinga, Tchouaméni.
Yeah.
I mean, should I stop there, or do you want me to keep going? Valverde.
I think you can stop. No, I'm going to be ever the optimist and say we're going to get a draw there. So I'm giving us a point.
I do love the optimism, but I think it's misplaced. But I do have you qualifying. I do think you'll get 16 points and probably be okay. That being said, 16 points might only be enough to get you into the playoff.
Yeah.
And it then depends, because look, let's move on to the next bit, right? Because we've done the 4 English teams.
Yeah.
Traditionally, there is always at least 1 or 2 of the really big boys that have an off season, right? Like I said, I haven't looked at the draw. I'm kind of writing down what you're saying, so I remember who's got who. Of the rest of the big boys, so we've talked about Real Madrid, we've talked about Man City, Liverpool, so on and so forth. I don't know who else Real Madrid have got. Barcelona are qualified, Juventus are qualified. Who else have we got? Inter, PSG. What are their draws looking like? Who's got the toughest fixtures?
I think on the face of it,
Bayern Munich.
I think Inter Milan probably have some of the toughest. They play Leipzig at home, City away, Arsenal at home, Leverkusen away. They play Red Star Belgrade at home. Young Boys
Okay.
away, Monaco at home, and then Sparta Prague away. But I think like they could easily lose or draw those first 4 fixtures against those tougher teams as well.
Yeah, they could do. They'll probably lose the Man City one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, let me bring up the full draw so I can have a good understanding of what I'm talking about. Now that you've given me the English teams and I've given you my genuine reaction to hearing Liverpool getting slaughtered. Hang on. Fabrizio Romano's tweet. He's got the full fixtures. Okay, let's have a look.
Well, if anyone's seen the draw fixtures online, you'll know the Excel spreadsheet. You have to zoom in on to see the fixtures.
Right, so if you see me getting very close to the camera, I'm really sorry. The beard's nice though. It's nice and cool. Okay. Okay, so Paris Saint-Germain, Man City at home, Bayern away. God, that's tough. Atletico Madrid, Arsenal. Mate, Paris Saint-Germain have got the worst one. They've got Man City. They've got Manchester City. They've got Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid,
sure,
Arsenal, PSV. Is that Salzburg?
Yeah, Salzburg. Yeah.
Girona and
I think that's
Stuttgart.
Yeah.
That's the toughest. They've got the toughest of anybody. They might be in trouble, you know.
Yeah.
So if Liverpool do end up dropping down into the playoffs, they might be meeting Paris Saint-Germain there.
Yeah.
That's a really tough draw for PSG. Let's have a look at Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich have got PSG at home, Barca away.
Yeah.
Benfica at home, Shakhtar away. That's not an easy place to go.
Yeah.
I can't see who is that from pot 3. They got Feyenoord away. Who's that at home? Dynamo Zagreb.
Yeah, Zagreb. Yeah.
Okay, and then in pot 4 they've got Villa away, which they should be all right with.
Yeah.
And then is that Salzburg?
No, that's Bratislava, I think.
Bratislava.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bayern Munich have not got it easy either.
I think one of the key things to look at here is who have Red Star Belgrade got at home. Because going to Red Star Belgrade Stadium is not a fun time.
No.
Okay.
Where are they?
Barcelona have to go there. I can honestly.
Red Star Belgrade. What group are they in?
They're in pot 3.
Pot 3.
I could honestly see Barcelona getting a win. Or, Red Star Belgrade getting a win against Barcelona at home.
Well, they've got Barcelona, Benfica, Milan. No. Barcelona, Benfica, PSV, and Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of those might struggle then. It's so interesting seeing the draw like this, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a weird format to look at.
It's really hard on the eyes. I'm a really old man, and this is hurting me. Okay,
I think another good fixture on the list is Celtic away to Borussia Dortmund. I think that'll just be a cesspit of atmosphere.
Yeah, that's massive. Oh, I wonder if we can get tickets for that. That'd be such a good away day.
Who wants to sponsor us?
Yeah, but by the way, we are looking for some sponsors for the podcast. So if you are interested, especially if you can give us comp tickets to some of these games, there are some really interesting fixtures.
Yeah,
there.
They weren't lying when they said that this new format would create better fixtures, but it's still just hard to wrap your head around.
But I think we'll get used to it as the years go by. I don't know. I think I probably prefer the league format. I think it would just be better if it was maybe 2 leagues.
Yeah.
And everybody played each other once in that league, and whoever came top won. Do you know what I mean? So the top 8 from both. I think that might work out better than having 1 league and everybody plays in 4 then separate little mini leagues, and it's a bit weird that way.
I think the reason there's not 2 leagues is just because the stipulations of you get to Champions League, you don't play another team from your country.
Yeah, that is quite difficult. I really don't see why that's a rule though.
Well, I suppose
why can't you 2 English sides play each other on the group stages? What difference does it make?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's just like you want to get to Champions League, you don't want to get another Man City versus Liverpool fixture.
The idea is that you beat the best in the competition, right?
Yeah. I wonder if there's an actual reason. I'll see if I can find an actual reason for it, because I just think it's just like you qualify, you want to play teams around Europe, you don't want to just get another more Premier League or more La Liga fixtures.
This is where it would be handy to have Alfie, our producer, on the podcast, because the little shit is currently sunning himself on a beach somewhere. we can't ask him. So maybe we do a little bit of live podcast research and have a look into it. But okay, so let's so we've done our Premier League predictions. Should we do our Champions League predictions, Scott?
Yeah.
We'll do our best not to have any silly bets.
Yeah, no bets this time.
Okay.
I think the Champions League is a lot more unpredictable, so no bets this time.
No bets this time. Who are gonna be the winners of the Champions League?
I think it will be either, obviously, Real Madrid, Man City, and I'm going to put Liverpool up there just because prestige.
Okay. Do you know how predictions work?
Yeah, no, but I haven't decided yet. I'm just putting my thought process out there in the air.
Okay.
You really can't look beyond Real Madrid, but I seen someone earlier say maybe this is Real Madrid were successful before, and then they brought the Galacticos in, and they kind of fumbled, and it kind of feels like
they were Galacticos before.
No, but then they had like the Galactico era where they were known as like the Galacticos with like R9 and all that. They kind of fumbled in the Champions League, and that could be the case now. Where like they've got so many stars in that team. Does it all work together?
Yeah. I mean, so far in the league, they're doing all right. Mbappe seems to be fitting in quite well.
It's kind of tough to predict because I'm gonna say Man City just because I feel like they're the most stable team in the tournament.
That's not a bad shout, actually.
Because you've got Bayern Munich, they've got a new manager and company.
Yeah.
PSG there's just something about the Champions League where they just fall at the last hurdle.
They're not good at it, are they? Yeah.
No. Liverpool, new manager. Inter Milan, I don't know too much about. Barcelona, new manager. And not to say they can't win it because they have a new manager, but it's kind of just like there's more cloud above them.
Yeah.
And I mean, even Leverkusen, how will they fare under Alonso in the Champions League this time? But they did fell at the last hurdle in the Europa League. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with Man City, begrudgingly.
Okay. I am going to go with. I'm going to say there's going to be a bit of a surprise package this year. I don't think it'll be anybody from pot one.
Do you not?
I'm going to rule out pot one. I'm going to say it'll be one of Juventus, Atletico, or Leverkusen. And looking at their fixtures, so Leverkusen have Inter, Liverpool, AC. They got both Milan teams at home. Nice. Atletico, Salzburg, Feyenoord, Sparta Prague, and I can't see that name.
Those first four fixtures are tough, but then the following four they should all be 3 points. So they're probably like 15 points.
And Leverkusen have managed to keep their squad together. So I don't think they've really lost anybody. I think I saw today that Bayern Munich are now out of the race for Tar.
Yeah, Leverkusen refused to sell him.
Yeah, which is the right move. Yeah. Too many of the German clubs just capitulate to Bayern when they come knocking, which is a good thing. That's a good thing that Leverkusen have refused to sell. I'm happy with that, and it also makes them look even more silly for letting De Ligt and Mazraoui go, because they were the whole reason they let De Ligt go is because they thought they were getting Tar.
Yeah.
So I mean, Leverkusen, okay, Atleti, Leipzig, PSG, Leverkusen, Benfica. Do you know what? I'm going to go with Atletico Madrid. I think they've got a really decent group stage, or league stage, as it were. They've got Leipzig, PSG, the Leverkusen, Benfica, Lille, Salzburg, Bratislava, and I can't read these. My eyes are so bad.
I know, it's an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'm going with Atletico Madrid. I think Atletico Madrid will win it. It'll stay in Madrid, but it'll be on the other side.
We'll do an updated prediction whenever we get the playoff and group stage or knockout stage draw, because Like this could all go out the window when Real Madrid and Man City get each other in the round of 16.
Exactly.
And then my prediction of City, they just get knocked out instantly.
I mean, fingers crossed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all want that. Okay, top scorer.
I'm gonna say Mbappe.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Like
Interesting.
like Mbappe easily scores a hat trick away to Brest and then a home to Stuttgart.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Actually,
and then he just picks up a goal here and there, and then ends up with like 12.
Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Champions League final would be tasty.
Yeah,
that would be tasty because they avoid each other until the quarterfinals, right? Because even the round of 16 they can't play each other.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That would be fun. Okay. In that case, top goal scorer for me, I'm gonna go Haaland.
Yeah, I think him or Mbappe. I think.
No, I'm not. No, I'm gonna go. I'm only because I've just clocked Bayern Munich's fixtures. I think it'll be Kane.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Kane. Yeah, because Man City have got some really tough fixtures: Inter Milan, PSG, Juventus, Sporting. Yeah. Bayern Munich don't have after the first two in PSG and Barcelona. They've got Benfica, Shakhtar, Feyenoord, Aston Villa, and then a couple of others who I can't see. So I think there's some goals there for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Harry Kane. Okay. Who are going to be the surprise package?
I said them earlier. I'm going to just say Red Star Belgrade just because their stadium.
Yeah.
There's just their home stadium. There's just a certain aura about their stadium.
Yeah.
Like even when Liverpool won the Champions League that year, we went to Belgrade and we got absolutely slapped around by them.
Did you?
And that was the year we won
it. Okay. I'm going to go with Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I think Aston Villa. I think they'll. Well, we went through them point by point earlier on. I think they'll get out of the league and they'll make it to the round of 16, which I think would be a surprise to everybody, including Aston Villa. Okay. Who are going to be the flops of this year's Champions League?
Ooh.
Who are we expecting to do really well that won't do well? I've got mine already. I'm going PSG.
I'm going to say Arsenal.
Interesting. Yeah, to be fair, I can see why. I can see why.
By flop, I mean I think they'll get out of the league phase. They'll get to round 16, but then I think they'll. If they get a tough team, I think if they get any. I think if they get nearly anyone in that pot one in the round of 16, I think they'll struggle and they'll get knocked out. I think them going far will depend on them getting lucky in the draw, which you can say is the same for most teams. But with, like the teams that you expect to win, they can get anyone and go through. But I think Arsenal need luck if they want to go far.
I'm just going to bring up Arsenal's squad list and have a look at what Champions League experience they've got. So they've got David Raya, none. Saliba, none. Gabriel, none. Calafiori, yes, but nothing to write home about. He was at AC Milan, wasn't he?
Oh, he's at Bologna, no?
He played... No, you're right. He was at Bologna, but he played in the Champions League for Roma.
Oh, fair.
Then you've got Timber, no. Zinchenko, yes. Kirill, Tierney, no. Ben White, no. Tomiyasu, no. Declan Rice, no. But he has won a European competition. I'm not going to say the rapist's name. Jorginho, yes. He's won the Champions League. Marino...
I think he's been in the Champions League a few times with Sociedad.
Let's have a look. Played 7 times in the Champions League, scored 2 goals and got an assist.
Fair.
Odegaard, I think he played 1 or 2 Champions League games for Real Madrid when he was there.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look.
Well, most of this Arsenal team will have experience from last year, but most of them only have 1 year, like in it, which I wouldn't really class that as experience.
Well, yeah, you're right. I don't know if he played in the Champions League.
No, I don't think he did. I searched up the other day because I was having a conversation about Odegaard and Bruno, and I thought Odegaard won the Champions League at Real Madrid.
No,
I thought he snuck onto the bench at one point.
Okay, Kai Havertz, yes. Martinelli, no. Trossard,
No.
no. Saka, no. Reece Nelson, no. Jesus, yes. And Eddie Nketiah's gone now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he was no anyway, but they don't have an awful lot of Champions League experience. There's going to be a lot of fresh faces. Which might, to be fair, might work in their favour. Who knows?
Yeah, like as I said earlier, having like experience doesn't necessarily mean that you won't go far. But it's just like you kind of seen last year, Arsenal, they were in the Premier League, they were on fire, got to the Champions League, they just about squeezed past Porto, who a team they should really go past easily, and then they struggled completely against Bayern. Like I don't think they barely had a chance against Bayern. So like that, and they had a fairly easy group last year, so we don't even know if they can take on these European big boys, because the only time they did, they faced Bayern and they got knocked out straight away.
They did, yeah. So Odegaard, I found the stats now, played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the Champions League for Real.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Sorry, excuse me. He played twice in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And then he got injured. And then he played a few times.
I think
Arsenal.
I think Arsenal's issue, like PSG, is that they've just got a history of not doing well in the competition against like the big teams. But maybe this format might help them, because if they pick up like a win against PSG or Inter Milan, and because they can face those type of teams this early, maybe it'll help them get over that hump if they can get a win against one of them.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I can certainly see why you picked them. To be fair, to be the flops.
Yeah,
I really worry about PSG and their fixtures. I really do.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Man City, Bayern, Atletico, Arsenal, PSV is a wild first 5 fixtures if it plays out in that order. But let's assume that it does. That's a really, really tough first 5 fixtures.
Yeah,
I don't think they make it out of the first phase.
Oh, you don't even think they'll make it out of the league?
No, I don't. Because how many teams qualify? 8 initially.
Yeah, 8 initially, and then another 16 go to the playoffs.
So there are 8 teams there that I think get through ahead of them.
Yeah.
So Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Inter. So the entirety of pot 1, I think, go through.
Maybe for me, maybe not Leipzig. I think maybe Leverkusen might squeeze in there.
Maybe, but even then, that's still 8, isn't it? And then Atletico definitely go through. Atalanta definitely go through. Juventus definitely go through. Arsenal definitely go through. Milan definitely go through. I think they're going to struggle, you know. I just don't think they get enough points out of those 5 fixtures. And that's where it's going to fall down, because they can win those last 3 and still end up on 9 points. Interesting.
Be interesting to see if PSG and Arsenal can get over that hump that keeps putting them down.
Yeah. Shall we have a little look at the Europa League draw tomorrow?
Yeah.
Should we do a little preview?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the pots. See if I can bring that up.
Suppose we have to get United involved in some way.
Well, I mean, it's not all about Liverpool. Right. Let's see.
Don't even know if we have the pots, because the qualifiers are still going on.
Teams. So the league phase, we've got Athletic Club, Alkmaar, Bodo Glimt, Dynamo Kiev, Fenerbahce, Frankfurt, Galatasaray, Hoffenheim, Lazio, Lyon, Malmo, Man United, Midtjylland, Nice, Olympiacos, Porto, Karabag, Rangers, Sociedad, Roma, Slavia Prague, Spurs, FC20 and Union SG. And then in the playoffs currently playing, which I think is on now, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got Ajax Anderlecht, Apoel Nicosia, Besiktas, Borac, Braga, Dinamo Minsk, Elfsborg, a Romanian team called FCSB, Ferencvaros, Hearts, a Polish team called Jagiellonia. Okay, sorry. Lashk, Ludogorets, Lugano, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Mold, PAOK, Athens, Petro Club, a Latvian team called RFS, Shamrock Rovers, shout out Shamrock, SK Rapid, TSC from Serbia, and Victoria Pilsen from Czechia.
Yeah. Just looking at the teams that are projected for pot one.
Yeah.
You've got Roma, you've got Man United, Porto, Ajax if they qualify, Rangers, Frankfurt, Lazio, Tottenham, and Slavia Praha if they qualify.
Okay.
I mean, I think, and then pot two, the projections are Sociedad, Alkmaar, Braga if they qualify, Olympiacos, Lyon, PAOK if they qualify, Lask if they qualify, Fenerbahce, Maccabi Tel Aviv if they qualify.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, pot three is Ferencvaros if they qualify, Karabag, Galatasaray, Victoria Plzen if they qualify, Bodo Glimt, Union SG, Dynamo Kiev, Ludogorets if they qualify, and Midtjylland. Then pot four, it's Malmo, Athletic Club, Hoffenheim, Nice, Apoel Nicosia if they qualify, Anderlecht if they qualify, Twente, Besiktas if they qualify, and Elfsborg.
So Ajax are currently 7-1 up on aggregate.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably it's fair to assume that they'll be in the draw.
Yeah.
Let's go through a couple of the other scores. So Apoel are 3-3 on aggregate.
Yeah.
And they lost. Rigas 1-4-2 on penalties. Molde are out. Elfsborg 1-4-2 on penalties. Ludogorets 1-6-1. Ajax 7-1. Anderlecht 1-2-0 on aggregate. Besiktas through 8-4. And then currently in play, so FCSB and Lask are locked at 1-1 on aggregate. Yeah. Hearts are losing 1-0 on aggregate to Victoria Plzen. Ferencvaros are 0-0. Rapid Vienna and Sporting Braga are 2-2. Shamrock Rovers are 4-0 down on aggregate to PAOK. So,
no chance there.
No. And Maccabi Tel Aviv are 6-0 up on aggregate, 3-0 up on the night at TSC. So I think all of the big boys there are probably through, with the exception of Apoel Tel Aviv. That's probably a surprise. Molde going out, that's probably a surprise. They lost on penalties. But the rest, I think, are fairly... I think we could have picked all of those.
Yeah, I think because teams can drop down from the Champions League this time, I think it's heavily in the favour of most of the teams in pot one to win it this time.
Oh, yeah. So you've got... The favourites are going to be Manchester United, Spurs, Roma, Lazio and Lyon.
Yeah.
Maybe Porto.
Yeah.
And Ajax, excuse me.
Yeah, I feel like the Europa League feels a lot easier to predict just because the gulf in quality of most of these teams.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, I think it's the right thing to do, because if you enter a competition, the competition is as it started. It should not be changed as the competition progresses. It would be like you win the championship to get promoted to the Premier League, but then you have to play a playoff for the relegated Premier League team.
Yeah,
I don't think that's fair. And that, I feel like that's what was happening in the Europa League. And you never got to go down to the Conference League if you got knocked out of the Europa League either, did you?
If you came third in the Europa League group, you went down to the Conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Fair enough. But that can't happen. So you couldn't go from the Champions League down and then down again.
No, I think you can only do that in qualifiers. I think.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so should we do a quick prediction for the Europa League
Yeah.
winner?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say United.
I'm gonna have to say Spurs. I don't think United are going to be putting anywhere near as much emphasis on European football this season because they know that they have to perform in the league.
Yeah.
I really think it'll be Spurs. I think
Spurs will get their hands on a trophy.
I do. I think it's been so long. I think they probably, on merit, deserve a trophy. I mean, I know you don't deserve a trophy if you don't win one. I get that, right? The winners are the winners, and you deserve to win if you win. But I think for a club the size of Tottenham to not have a trophy in as long as they haven't had one is a bit of a disgrace. So I'm gonna back Spurs. I think Spurs will win it.
Fair.
Top scorer?
I'm gonna go Youngmin Son.
I'm gonna go with who am I gonna go with? I'm gonna go with the 7-foot-tall Dutch monster who signed for Ajax.
Weghorst.
Weghorst. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I think it'll be Weghorst. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Spurs Ajax final.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd love it if all of at least one of us got all of our predictions right.
Yeah, imagine.
Okay. Should we do Conference League really quickly? Just have a quick touch on that before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Conference League draw. So Chelsea is through.
Yeah.
And I think they are probably the favourites, aren't they?
Yeah. Look, I'm just going to put it out there. If Chelsea don't win the Conference League, it's an embarrassment.
I think that's probably fair, yeah.
With the level of teams in there, man. If Chelsea, with the amount of money they spent and with their manager and with the quality of players they have, if they don't win the Conference League, just liquidate the club.
I mean, I'm gonna shock you.
You're gonna say
Chelsea are currently losing 2-1 to a napkin.
It's a 2-1.
Servette are currently 2-1 up, yeah, with 10 minutes to go. But VAR are checking that. Oh no, they're not.
Just
no. Yeah, no goal. So Nicholas Jackson just scored on the. It was disallowed for offside, but VAR checked it and it stands. So they're currently 2-1 down. If Servette get another goal in the next 10 minutes, that could make it spicy because that does just go straight to penalties. There's no extra time. Okay, let's have a look at the teams in the Conference League. So do you know what? I put myself through the embarrassment of trying to pronounce all of the Europa League teams. I think it's only fair that you have a go at the Conference League teams, Scott. So whenever you're ready, mate, take it away.
Okay, well, these are only projected pots, and I think they're quite outtakes. I still see Shamrock Rovers on there, even though they're 4-0 down. But here's the projected pots. So we've got Chelsea. So this pot one: Chelsea, Copenhagen, Ghent, Fiorentina, Real Betis, and Istanbul Başakşehir.
Yeah.
Pot 2, you've got Molde, you've got Legia Warsaw, Heidenheim, Djurgården, Rapid Vienna, RC Lens. Pot 3, you've got Ammonia Nicosia, HJK Helsinki, Trabzonspor, Vitoria, Astana, Olympia Ljubljana. I just noticed there's 6 pots here. Pot 4, we've got, I think that's Steaua Bucharest, Cercle Bruges, whoever Shamrock Rovers are playing, the New Saints, Lugano.
New Saints are the Welsh side, aren't they?
Yeah. RFS. And then pot 5, you've got Mlada Boleslav, Hearts, Petro Cub, Baka Topola, Borac Banja Luka, Jagiellona. And then pot 6, you've got Selj, Larn, Dynamo Minsk, Paphos, Vikinger, Reykjavik, and Noah.
Not as easy as it looks, is it?
No.
Okay. Right. Pick a winner.
Yeah, Chelsea. And if for some
Fioren-
reason Chelsea lose to Napkin FC, I'm going Real Betis.
I'm going Fiorentina.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I am going to say. I'm going to say Fiorentina based on the fact that they keep Amrabat.
Yeah.
And top scorer, I'm going Ikone.
I'm going to go Cole Palmer.
Really?
Yeah, penalties.
if Napkin FC get a goal and it goes to penalties, that doesn't count.
But to be fair, maybe Cole Palmer, like, they're not even playing Cole Palmer now, so they've only just brought him on. So I'm actually going Kunku because Kunku will be on penalties.
You think so?
Yeah, and if he doesn't get injured.
Well, I mean, that's a big ask.
Because I feel like they won't play Cole Palmer in the group stage. Because I feel like there won't be a need.
To be fair, why would they? They've got a squad of 75 players. They could field a different squad for every competition they enter this season.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So those are the three European competitions. Admittedly, we have the draw for one of them, but not for the other two. So by the time you get to see this,
Draw will already be made, yeah.
The draw will already have been made, so you'll get to see how stupid we are. Which, to be fair, we are quite stupid.
Yep.
Our Premier League predictions are already looking rancid, so that's quite fun. Okay, so next week we have a guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but we are returning to our series, How to Solve a Problem Like. So please tune in for that. Scott, thanks for joining me, mate. Thanks for helping me pronounce all of those weird and wonderful names. Good luck in the Champions League. I hope you burn. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel where we will do more of these, and see you next week. Cheers, guys.